Hey, welcome to Take 3. We're coming from you from WTSR Radio 93.1. And I'm Josué Lora from Colmado Music Group.
And I'm Bill Nobes. Each episode of Take 3 brings you one independent artist, 3 songs performed live, and an in-depth interview about each song. This session was recorded on August 21st, 2022 from the House of Robot.
And this episode's artist is Nota.
Hello. How you guys doing?
Hey, what's up, Nota G? How are you? Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm Nota. I'm a Dominican-American recording artist based out of Trenton, New Jersey. Yeah, that's basically it.
All right, cool. Let's go to the first song.
Hey, this is Nota. Thank you, House of Robots. The song I'm about to do is unreleased. Working on an EP for like the last 2 years. This is one of those songs. It's called Destination. Yeah. Hey, 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 hey. Cansada de lo mismo ya, pensar que todo lo has visto ya. Buscas paraíso allá, pero lo llevas en tu ritmo, ma. Suéltate el pelo, suéltate el lazo, no tengo un peso. No tengo tiempo, no tengo ganas, ¿y qué importa eso? Si me da la palabra, aunque esté débil, si hace el esfuerzo. Si entramos en acción, vivimos la peli y estamos contentos. Dime qué habrá en el más allá, qué llevas por dentro. Solo sé que quiero saber y de una vez me oriento. Dime qué será en el más allá, qué llevas por dentro. Solo sé que quiero saber y de una vez me oriento. ¿Qué tal si cogemos un vuelo? Vamos a desaparecer, nos volamos un año entero. O solo un amanecer, no importa el destino, si tú eres mi destino. Hey, no importa el destino, si tú eres mi destino. Hey.
So the name of that track was Destination. And can you tell us a little bit about the track? When was it recorded? What is it about? What does it mean to you?
Destination is kind of like a play on you know, destino in Spanish. It's just because destino can mean like, you know, their actual destination or like your destiny. And it was just kind of a play on that.
You spoke a little bit earlier about having a friend in Brazil, and I noticed some of like the Brazilian like sounds and stuff. Mm-hmm. Was that part of that? Like, did he have anything to do with that?
Yeah, I mean, I was actually bouncing a lot of ideas off when I was writing like the EP. And I would always talk to my friends, I mean, you and the guys at the studio, but I was also talking to people across the world just to see, like, yo, is this something that they might like? Or, I don't know, like, just to get a general feel for it. And, you know, he's from Brazil. He was not from Brazil originally. He actually, you know, was living out there. And he gave me the idea to just, you know, try to branch out the sounds. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Let me make a song about, you know, destinations and places to go.
And you say that's destinations. Are these physical destinations or these life journeys?
It's both. What is it that you want? You want to go somewhere? Let's go here. Let's go there. Where do you want to reach in life? Like, is it just about getting to the place, or is it like a life thing?
That was my next question. Is it about the destination or is it about the journey?
Well, that's the question that I'm asking in the song. Mm-hmm. I didn't like. I wrote it more as a question, like I'm talking to somebody. I don't have like a clear cut where I like specifically went with it, if that makes sense. It's more like, you know, what is it where do you want to go? Or where are we going as well? So.
All right, let me throw that back at you. As an artist, where are you going?
I don't know. I do this, you know, it's one of those things where I can't live without. I love writing. That's like my favorite thing. I can never let go of it. Even if I wanted to stop, I couldn't. I'd always sit down and do it. So
I was going to say that. I often say I would love to stop.
Yeah. You know, because you get tired, or like life just takes you places where maybe it turns into like something that's on the back burner. But to me, it's never been something I can put on the back burner. So it was like front and center in my life. So I'll do a million other things with my life, but I'll never stop writing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, being an artist is like the hard part. Like, I feel like it's way harder than just going out getting a regular job and just doing that.
For
like,
real.
I think we'd all have all the money in the world if we didn't invest all this time and money into like things that we liked. Like a lot of people when they question, like, oh, why choose that? I'm like, oh, why not? Like, life is short. So I think it's interesting that you say, destination. We'll see where we end up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, how did your journey start as an artist?
I started writing poetry in Dominican Republic because financially sometimes Dominicans like to send their kids to DR because it's cheaper to maintain your kids. And they'll probably in our situation, what we did was my family got together, lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, just like 10 people.
Here or?
Here, yeah. So they split the apartment up and they figured it out and they were like, we're going to send you guys to DR. And it's just, they got to save money. They were able to buy a house. And so when I got over there, it was weird because I was already studying here and writing and not interested in anything artsy. I liked books and stuff like that. But
how old were you when they sent you?
I mean, I went twice. One time was for a year when I was, I think it was for 2nd grade. Then I came back, did 3rd, 4th, and then I went back over there to do 5th and 6th. So it was when I got over there, it's you're entering middle school, you're trying to find the things that you like. And I happen to I had a good teacher over there that was, I think, the literature teacher. And she was, they got to go through the poetry and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, this is really cool. Because she would explain it in a certain way. I really liked it. So it kind of stuck with me. And that's why I don't write in English. I only write in Spanish because that's where I first got my muse.
That's what I was going to ask next, is how your time there influenced your writing.
Spanish is beautiful. The way you can describe things and having a teacher like that and point it out to you that they're describing it this way because, saying it, I can describe something, the paper's white, but you can say something else that it just, kind of distracts you, but it doesn't. And I thought it was beautiful. So I've always Spanish. I'm going to continue doing it.
Now, was that teacher, would you say, a major influence in your life?
I would say no because I don't remember her name.
I was going to ask that next. Let's give her a shout out, him or her a shout out.
No, because I was always failing my classes anyway. But I never did my homework. But that's probably the only thing I would do when I get home is write.
And you started the poetry.
Yeah.
When did that transition to music?
When I got back here. So my cousin was the one who really got me involved in music. He was already trying to do his thing. He was a freestyler, and I've never been able to do that. So I would sit there and I would write because that's what I knew how to do, and he would be like, "That sounds great." He's also an amazing recording artist, Rap 609. You guys got to check him out.
So you went to DR. You only spent about 4 years there living, but
yeah, total, yeah.
But the short amount of time that you spent there is I guess it stuck with you, and that's why you continue to make music in Spanish.
Yeah, I feel like those are the formative years. You kind of find your identity throughout those years, and I happen to be over there, and so when I came back, everything was weird. I wasn't into hip hop or anything like that. I like merengue and bachata because that's all they listen to over there.
So how do you pick hip hop up? Because hip hop is not a traditional Dominican. I guess it's not typically from Dominican Republic. When did that come to be?
That was again my cousin, because I would see him doing the freestyles, and I'm like, damn, I want that kind of attention, but I was terrible at it. So I'd be like, let me focus more on the writing and the recording aspect of it. And I don't know, I like the performance part of the it's so energetic, so much goes into making it, from the words to the flow to the cadence to everything, and it's its own performative piece even if you did it without any music behind it. So it's kind of like poetry, and I was like, I like this, I'm gonna go with this.
Nice.
Even though later on I discovered that you can do all that poetry stuff with all kinds of music, singing. And
so you talked about how you kind of found your identity in Dominican Republic. So Nota today, who is Nota? What is your identity? What have you discovered through this destination? What have you reached a destination you're comfortable with, or through this journey to your destination?
I discovered with all the years of making art that nothing has to be linear, nothing has to be straight up, nothing has to be straightforward, nothing has to be clear. Anything is beautiful as long as you intend it to be something.
So anything is beautiful as long as you intend it to be something. What do you intend your work to be?
Beautiful.
I'm gonna get that tatted.
Actually, I have a tat like that.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, nice.
For real.
They are also beautiful. So we're still chatting with Nota He, and let's move on to the next song, Sol de Foco.
This next song is called, I think it's called Sol de Fogo. I don't have a name for it yet. It's also on release. It's also on the EP, and we're just gonna go with Sol de Foco. Yeah, let's do that. Hey, 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 yeah. Yo loco al paso, prendo un mismo y no paso. Eso está rolado ese rato, nadie me altera, nadie me cambia, no me mantiene. Tengo lo mío, pasar por los genes, siempre lo hago aunque no me conviene. Ayudo, la ayuda a mi mano la entreguen, mientras que hablan sonos de... grito Kobe cuando tiro su comentario en el zafacón. Yo no pido nada, pero cuando me hablan aportan cero, solo su opinión. Eso es papel higiénico para mi alma, eso no me ayuda ni para limpiar nada. En pocas palabras, la boca cerrada combina muy bien con su Balenciaga. Todo el de foco, luna y vibra, pero es tu presencia lo que me da vida. Romo un vaso y un cobiba, pero está en silencio lo que me alivia. Aburrido y pico, casi medio siglo sin sacar un disco. Ahora de la nada todo lo que toco yo lo multiplico. Estoy hablando mis raíces, mami, mira lo que hice. No busco amigos, tampoco enemigos, pero no me explico. Dígame cuál es la demás conmigo. Me han pasado muchos años, pero nunca lo esquivo. Están actuando bien extraño cuando le hablo que yo escribo. Como que le estoy mintiendo, como que le estoy vendiendo. Perdón, pero eso no lo entiendo. No vine a comprar su respeto, ya ese sustento. Pues estoy satisfecho con todo lo que tengo. Me voy ahora o me borra luego. Y ya que no le guste que me mame, lo hago sin disquera y no quiero sello. Todo lo que hago sale de mi pecho. Yo no vendo el alma y no doy el culo, y me importa un culo si no son mi culo. Miro para arriba, solo cielo azul. Sol de foco, luna y vibra, pero es tu presencia lo que me da vida. Romo un vaso y un cobiba, pero está en silencio lo que me alivia. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah, hey.
And here we are with Nota He and Bill, and that was Sol de Foco. And Peter, can you tell us a little bit about Sol de Foco, how to come to be? Who produced that song? I am curious. Who produced this song?
Who did produce that? That's a funny thing. It's a guy named Josue.
Okay, for a disclosure, because we haven't talked about this, you guys work together.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, what is your organization called?
So it's an indie label by the name of Colmado Music Group. Mm-hmm. And everyone that performed today is basically part of it. So I use it just as a way to, I guess, distribute my music. We also have a recording studio in Trenton where we produce, film. Everything is done in-house. All the production is done in-house. We direct, shoot, produce, record, mix, master, everything in-house.
Now, so in this track, your role as producer.
Yeah.
And you were the writer and performer, obviously.
Yeah.
So tell us about this track, what it means to you.
Sol de Foco is kind of like a funny way of me talking about certain people in your life. It's sunny when you're around, but sometimes is also like heavy. Like,
well, what is for us monolingual people, what is the translation of the
Sol de Foco is like the sun as like my light bulb. It's a song about like the duality of wanting to be around people. I've always had an issue. It was funny that I'm always like a very enclosed kind of person. I don't really like talking to too many people, but at the same time, I'm not. Like my culture is completely different to that. So I grew up where I was around a bunch of people, and I had to learn the hard way, but it's not something that I prefer.
Mm-hmm. Would you say you're an introvert?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I play the part. You have to be able to do that when you have a family that's like, I got like 50, 60 cousins that I know of. There's probably more. And it's not that you don't want to be around them. It's not that they're not cool. It's just that it's heavy. It's just draining. Yeah. So that was the point of the song is basically that duality of like, yeah, I like my alone time. I like being away from people, but I also like being with people. But then they get annoying, and then you're like, all right, let me get some more space. So it's, push and pull kind of thing. That song has like a year recorded. A year? What was it, last year? Yeah. I walked in on Josue one day randomly. He FaceTimed me. Yo, pull up. All right. Pull in. He was already working on a tiny little sample. And he was like, you got something for this? all right, get in there, record it. I had nothing. I just had like some old verse, and I was like, let me just see what I could put together.
Are you like working on an album? Because I've noticed you keep saying that you have like a bunch of unreleased songs. I think all the songs you did today are unreleased.
Yeah.
What do you have planned as far as releasing those?
So the plan is to put all of those songs. Well, I have them collected. They're all gonna go on a EP album. It's supposed to come out this year. All the songs are written. All the songs are basically ready to record. Half of it is done, and I just perfecting it little by little. And
what's the process for you when you say perfecting it? Like because some people might go in the studio and they'll be done with the song they recorded.
Oh yeah.
And for you, what does perfecting it mean?
The funny thing is that some songs are like that, where you walk in and in 15 minutes you have the whole song done and ready, and it's ready. And then there's other songs and other things where it's like it has to be so right that I don't like the sound of my voice, the cadence, everything has to be so right for me to feel like comfortable to say that it's done. And some songs for me take longer than others.
It makes me think of those studio days where you come in and do everything the first take, and then a whole other day you can't get one guitar track done for the whole day.
Yep.
Fix my snare.
Everything's just off.
Yeah. It tends to work like this. Now, let me ask you, this is a tangent, but as a small label, independent label, are there any differences in English-speaking market and the Spanish-speaking market in music today?
I mean, I believe there is, definitely, but I don't see why, you don't have to, divide it anymore, at least not nowadays. It's just...
I mean, as far as marketing, promotion, and...
I used to think there was a difference. I really did, because there's different sounds. Of course, traditional Latin-speaking countries, like hip-hop is not the biggest thing they do. A lot of it is reggaeton or urban stuff. So it was just trying to make things that appeal to those markets was something we had to learn to do.
I feel like the energy transfers, especially with the music itself. As long as the energy is similar, people will get it immediately once you start playing it.
I think from a creation standpoint, it doesn't matter. Just make whatever you want to make. Music is music. Now, if you're talking marketing wise and capitalism and all of this, I used to think there was differences, but not really. The music, when you're marketing, it really is only one portion of marketing. Look at Bad Bunny. He's breaking international records. I think the other day I read an article. He's sold out. He's the number one artist that made the most money out of a concert. I think he made 11 point something million out of one concert.
It's not a bad day.
Nobody has ever made more than that in a day. Yeah, if you're making 11 million out of one concert, it's crazy. But I feel like if his label, and he's independent, which is insane. A lot of people don't know that his label is independent. So I feel like if they looked at it they try to market him just to Latin or Central American countries, or just took that approach, he wouldn't be as big as he was. Yeah. They took the approach that they wanted to just say, hey, this is an artist. He's not just a Puerto Rican artist. He's not just a Spanish-speaking artist. This is an artist. And that's what I tell everyone, where I'm like, hey, Nota, hey, you are an artist, regardless of whatever language you speak, because music is a universal language. To me, I think that's secondary. Whatever language the lyrics might be in, from a marketing standpoint, at least. If you're pushing a product, this is the product. You're going to enjoy it. And sometimes, it might not be for everyone because they don't understand the lyrics, and that's fine. You just keep it moving.
All right, let's go on to the third song.
This next and final track is called Levitar. This one does have a name. This one, it means to float. Float through all your problems, skate through all that stuff. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Hey. Si me infla la cabeza, puede hacer que vuele. Levitar es fácil, la caída es lo que duele, pero eso no me detiene. Dime qué es lo que te mueve. Si me infla la cabeza, puede hacer que vuele. Levitar es fácil, la caída es lo que duele, pero eso no me detiene. Dime qué es lo que te mueve. como dicta mi vida. Si ni yo me conozco para que choque las muelas y basta con la sonrisa. Son mudas las fotos pero se escucha la risa, como me caracterizan. Si ni me han visto llorar, no me han visto perder y no me quieren ver ganar. No le interesa entender cizaña subliminal. Por la crianza es que yo tengo positivo, no lo entiendo. Ahora comentarios de amor, no lo sé procesar. Conforme con mi maña, siempre dulce como caña. Mete cosas a la cabeza y no sé cómo lidiar. Manobrando las palabras para sentirme más social en este juego de luces, buscando poderme ocultar. Y ¿por qué jugar? ¿Por qué juzgar? Si lo que sale a la luz no se oculta. Hey, ¿por qué jugar? ¿Por qué juzgar? Si lo que sale a la luz no se oculta. Si me inflan la cabeza, puedo hacer que vuele. Levitar es fácil, la caída es lo que duele, pero eso no me detiene. Dime qué es lo que te mueve. Si me inflan la cabeza, puede hacer que vuele. Levitar es fácil, la caída es lo que duele, pero eso no me detiene. Dime qué es lo que te mueve. Si me...
Levitar. Levitar literally translates to levitate. Float, skate through your problems, just be easy, be, be one, like you're meditating.
Be
kind
simple, as the Buddhist teachers would say.
Yeah. That song was interesting because that one's like in Sol de Foco I do the little, the duality thing or the push and pull thing, and this one I'm just being way more direct about it. I flip it, levitar, to say is like when people hype you up. The reason why I'm levitating is because I've been hyped up.
In a good way, or
yeah, it can be good, it can be bad, and that's kind of, again, it's the question. Is it always good? Do you know if it's if they're being straightforward or they're not? If they're being honest with the hyping upness or they're just being, thing. So
Nice.
yeah, exactly. So, and it's hard to tell. If you're honest to me, then I know what I'm going forward into. If I'm not, then I'm floating up here, and the minute I hit a wall or something, all the stuff you told, I'm falling down now.
So how was the production for this one?
I was in the studio one day. I walked in on Josue like I always do. So I walked in. I'm like, and Josue's like, oh, we're wrapping up or whatever. He was like, nah, put something. Because that's Josue. You have to put something. You just see what he could do. And I'm like, oh, I got the song I wrote, but I'm not, the beat, I can't. I don't really want to use it. I want to make my own thing. He was like, yeah, play it. Played it. He was like, I'm grabbing the acoustic, I'm grabbing the bass, and I'm doing some little key things, and that's the whole beat. And we just kind of made the drums and was like, all right, this is it. The whole song was already, like I said, I already had, references and everything to the other beat. So making that song was probably the easiest. I floated through that.
You levitated through it.
I levitated through it.
So yeah, so on Levitar, you we mentioned the production was done pretty, like, how long did it take? It was like an hour, I remember, right?
Yeah, that was quick.
And you like floated through it, but and it doesn't have a lot of elements. I think it's like drums, keys, guitar,
acoustic, and bass line.
But the vocals, I remember you did like stacked vocals, and you used like your voice kind of like an instrument, where like a lot of singing and stuff like that. And from working with you for a while, I remember like before you were kind of like shy to sing a lot more. What kind of like got you out of like that?
I don't know. I used to feel like I used to struggle, and this is. I used to fall into the trap of like, this is real hip hop. Can't do auto tune. I can't do da 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 da. I used to really believe in that until I was just like, I just want to make stuff that I like. This whole album, I was like, I want to try, because I do a lot of rapidy rap stuff. I love it, but I was like, this album, I'm gonna try to be a lot more melodic, try to use my voice more as an instrument.
A lot of the songs remind me kind of like before he passed, like Mac Miller. Some of the stuff he was doing. What are like your influences? Will Mac Miller be one of them, or like your top 3 influences overall? What would you say?
Top 3, number 1 would definitely be Juan Luis Guerra.
And who's Juan Luis Guerra?
So Juan Luis Guerra is like the GOAT. Just JLG. Google it.
Insert
I can't even.
emoji.
Yeah, like I can't say more. From him, influence is his poetry. I mean, his production is amazing. His arrangements are insane. But to me, it's the poetry. He takes something he says things in certain ways, and it's so simple, and he makes a song that you dance to, and it can be a protest song and you're dancing to it, like straight up merengue. And he's talking about the government, how slow it is, how it's leaving people behind, and it's just, you know, metaphors and stuff like that. So I definitely get that. Mac Miller, I definitely say I got a lot of influence from him, because I think I found out that we were about the same age, and I'm like, this guy's already blowing up. The dude did everything. He knew how to play instruments. He knew how to do all kinds. It wasn't like he was just sitting there rapping just to rap to be a rapper. He got into the production side of it, and that's like the stuff that, like, even this album, I produced a lot of the songs too. I went in and tried to put some stuff together, because I was like, I don't want to be anymore just a rapper. It's time for me to branch out. And I feel like watching Mac Miller grow helped me.
Back to Destination. It's a new journey for you.
Yeah.
Where do you hope that takes you?
I feel like I've always avoided, because kind of being an introvert, I've always avoided attention. I've never really, you know, enjoyed it. I get a camera in my face, I get awkward. And I feel like doing more music that's more palatable to wider audiences, I feel like I have to put myself there to get out of that comfort zone. I can't no longer stay in the background and be like, oh, you know, I'm just rapping, and I don't want to do that anymore. I feel like for me to be the artist that I feel like I can be, I have to put myself out there.
And I think it's important to say, you know, a lot of artists are like, oh, if you do anything for the audience, you're selling out. That's not true. It's okay to express yourself in only the way you want to, but it's also okay to want to reach people in a certain way. Yeah. And it's not a selling out as long as the message is true.
And that took a while to understand. And, you know, now I feel like, I think COVID helped us with that, because our creative process went from like, you know, I got this verse and send it to we walk in and we start something from complete scratch. It'll be, you know, we found one sample and we start building and building and building. And by the time we're done, there's a whole song. And it's whatever. It could be a reggaeton. It could be a dance hall. It could be, we have a pop song that we made just because we were like, we have everything. We can do it. And why would we limit ourselves? It's like, let's do it. Let's make everything we like and make other people like it too, if possible.
I think you only sell out like when you fail yourself, like when you make something that doesn't feel right to you.
That's like, it's so outside of your...
Like if you like it, you're enjoying it, you're having fun for whatever reason it is. It could be for like a reason nobody agrees with, but if it like you're doing it and it doesn't feel right to you, I think that's like the only way you'll ever sell out. It could be the most pop song, whatever. Who cares? Did you like it? Does it feel good to you? Like... Thank you, Nota. So where can we find you online? Website, social media accounts, all of that?
Just follow my Instagram. Follow me on Spotify. It's Nota_G or at Nota_G.
Nota is
definitely
N-O.
follow me on Spotify and Apple Music. New music on the way.
Nota, Nota_G.
Yep.
New music on the way.
New music on the way. I promise.
And you can follow me. I'm everywhere. Josue Lora, JOSUE_LORA. Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Or you could follow Colmado Music Group to catch some of my own stuff and a lot of Peter's work. Colmado, COLMADO, musicgroup.com, and Colmado Music Group on all social media sites.
And I'm on Instagram and Facebook as House of Robot, or visit houseofrobot.com.